Hi everyone and welcome to today's Thank God It's Friday. Today we'll be using some bits and pieces as well as some new products from the new Stampin' Up catalogue and some that are carrying over. This stamp set is a hostess stamp set and it's Express Yourself, and it's got beautiful script writing and sentiments, and I'm going to use the Happy Anniversary from this particular stamp set. We're going to be using some flower trim, some Embossing fashionable hearts, a paper doily, and this is continuing on from the seasonal catalogue, and we're going to be using some embossing folders. Okay, the colour scheme we'll be going is more natural. We're using Naturals Ivory. We're going to be using a designer series paper. This is a retired pack, and this was the Christmas one. But there's a lot of masculine papers, but I do like some of the actual other images, this is the one we'll be using that I've cut down. So let's get started. Okay, so this particular ink is the Illuminate ink, and it's basically like a Versamark but very shimmering, and it's quite transparent. I'm going to put this ink direct ink contact from my ink pad to my embossing folder, and you can see already the shimmer that it leaves. And I'm going to place some Naturals Ivory right in the middle, trying not to move it once I've pressed down, and run that through my big shot. Alright, so just lifting that up. Okay, it's very hard to see, especially in this light, but the cardstock now is actually in the background, not the embossed raised side, is actually quite shimmery, and you'll be able to see that once I take a photo at the end. Okay, so I've got an A4 cardstock cut portrait style, and I've cut this cardstock that we've just embossed to the exact height, and it's just 3/4 of the way down. Okay, now I'm going to cut the doily, and I'm going to adhere that down. So I'm just trimming, just making a slit where I feel I'm going to need to cut with my cut. So I've got some crumb cake cardstock here, and then I've got my heart punch. You'll be able to hear my little daughter in the background, little Tasha. Going to punch a heart. I'm going to run that through the Big Shot, again using my Illuminate ink on my embossing folder, so repeating that process. And I can just pretty much just do that little section here. And I'll run that through the... You can really notice it. I'll hold it up and zoom in. It really shimmers and makes the actual embossed image stand right out. Placing dimensionals behind the heart, the punched out heart. They'll be going in the center of the card. Okay, this designer series paper is going to be adhered down, and with the doily adhered down. Okay, so I've adhered both the doily, half of the doily, and the designer series paper down, and because I've done that, I can see the actual gap in there, and I'm going to cover it with some very vanilla seam binding ribbon. So I'm pretty much just going to be tying a knot, no bow, as I think it'll just be a little bit too hard. Okay. Alright. So I'm just going to adjust that so it's slightly to the side. Okay. Alright. And then I'm going to grab the flower trim, and I'm just going to grab just a flower, just trimming it off. Now I like to glue these down with say about 3 glue dots, because I want it that fairly adhered down. Okay, I just snuck a little bit of crumb cake card seam binding ribbon as well behind that, just as a contrasting colour. And I've got my little girl Tasha here, pretty much making a mess in the background. So now I've got my sentiment, the happy anniversary. I'm going to stamp that using crumb cake ink. So I'm just going to tap that on my ink pad and getting a strip of very vanilla cardstock. It's a bit crooked, so I'll try it again. Probably should use my Stamp-A-Magic. Oh, it's crooked again. That's alright, because I'm going to actually punch it out. So grabbing my modern label punch, happy anniversary fits perfectly in this punch. How lucky was I? I'm going to have that sit and have that flush against that cardstock. So just snailing that down. Have that sitting just like that. Okay, it does need a little bit of bling, so I'll just grab my pearl pack out. Okay, so I'm going to grab the biggest of the pearls and just put one in the middle of the flower here, like that. Alright, so I've got the pearl in there, and then I've got baby pearls on there. So I'll do a close-up of these baby pearls. Oh, aren't they just gorgeous? These cute little baby pearls. Okay, so that's the card for today. Okay, so there you've got one big pearl and 3 baby pearls, very subtle baby pearls that you can hardly see them. And I've just stuck 2 hearts using the Embossing die Sizzlet, and I think that turned out pretty well. So this is going to be sent to a lovely couple of mine. They're friends, and they're just such the most happiest and funniest couple I've ever come across. They're always so loving and caring towards each other, and it's just so refreshing and wonderful to see. So I hope they like it. This will be hitting the mail to them. They'll actually get that in the next day or so. So happy anniversary, Angela and Anthony, and I hope you have a wonderful 9-year anniversary together. Alright, thanks for watching. Thank God it's Friday, and don't forget to check out my Facebook page and my blog.